Several years ago, I broke the tip off this. I didn't break the tip off, but broke the ceramic or the plastic that's inside the eye on the tip of this rod. Anyway, I fished with it like that for several years, and then I thought about it every time I was fishing. Man, I need to just fix this darn thing. And I've put tips on several broken rods over the years, but I don't recall ever having one like this where the ceramic broke out that I needed to take the old tip off before I put the new one on. So I went to Walmart, as it turned out, and I bought a rod tip repair kit for under $5, which blows my mind. Rarely do you find a value like that. But after I took that tip off, I looked at the instructions when I bought it in the store, and then after I took that tip off, I thought I better go back and read the instructions, make sure I'm doing this right. But and I almost broke that rod tip as I pulled that tip off there. But anyway, you heat it up, pull it off, and then choose the size tip replacement. That comes with three different sizes. In my case, it was a smaller one. This is a light to medium weight 5.5 foot spinning rod. But anyway, and then you just heat the glue up and put it on the rod tip. I got that glue probably hotter than it needed to be. And the one mistake I made on it, which was not a big deal, but I used too much glue. I got too much glue on the end of that rod tip, and you'll see here in a second that I was trying to get the excess off, but gosh, just something, an easy thing. If you're not into repairing stuff, if you're more likely to throw something away and go get a new one or whatever, this is just an example of how for not much money and just a little bit of time, you can save yourself money. And then, and particularly if it's something that you like. In this case, this is one of my favorite rods I've ever had. But anyway, you heat the glue up and you put the rod tip on it and make sure it's lined up with the eyes on the rest of the eyes on your rod. And that's really all there is to it. And after seeing this, I'm going to go heat that up again and get all that excess glue off of there. No doubt the line's going to get hung up on at least a little bit in certain situations. So I'll fix that, but that's all there is to it. And so I just wanted to show that. I know it helps if you have never done something and you see somebody on YouTube do it. This is not a professionally shot video on how to fix a rod tip, but you'll get the idea. But hopefully that'll help you. Well, I tell you what, I'm pretty excited about that. For $5, I just saved myself to replace that rod. I don't know. It depends on what kind of rod I would have gotten, but something the equivalent quality probably would have been $50, $60, $70 maybe. I remember when I bought this, I was thinking about when I was working on repairing that tip there. They just came out, I believe at that time, with graphite rods. That was a big deal. And they had this little cutout here. They made that so for your thumb, this is for a spinning reel. So you're holding it like that. Your thumb would go on that graphite on the rod there, the rod end, and you could feel the fish whenever when it hits. And I think over the years, when I think about it, as I use this rod, I think that to some degree works a little bit. Now, truthfully, most of the time, whether I can feel that fish real lightly hitting or whatever is not a huge deal. I'm probably weird. I'm not out there to see if I can fill a stringer or catch a world record or more fish than I've ever caught at one time or certain size, whatever. Now, don't get me wrong. I enjoy catching big fish. I enjoy catching a lot of fish. But man, I just have a good time when I'm out there. So for me, it's whether I can feel that slightest little hit on it's not that big of a deal. But it's an advantage. And I'm just excited about getting this thing back in service. I've been using it. I've used it for years since that ceramic tip broke. But you can tell it doesn't cast as smoothly. There's a reason why they put ceramic inside those metal eyes. Didn't cast as smoothly, didn't reel back as smoothly. And so I'm really pretty excited about that. And I bought myself a new reel. In the event that I was able to fix that, which again, that wasn't any big deal. But I bought a Lew's 10 bearing spinning reel, kind of a medium duty, made for up to 12-pound test. I generally use between either 4 or 6, sometimes 8, rarely 10, but since I'm getting back into fishing for these smallies, you also hate to lose, even though I'm not out there necessarily just to see if I can catch the biggest fish in the river, but at the same time, you hate to latch into a 4, 5, 6 pounder, which would be rare to get a 5 or 6, but they get that big, and they fight like a rascal. So I'd hate to light into one and lose it because I had a 4 pound test. But that's also fun. That kind of ups the what's the word I'm looking for? I'm gonna adjust that little eye there while I'm talking. That kind of just makes it a little more exciting. But anyway, for $5, man, I've got my rod back in order. And as I've mentioned before, no doubt many times, I really enjoy stuff that's old and has character on it, like this old coffee cup that I got out at Yellowstone National Park when the bride and I were out there a number of years ago. And you can see where it's all chipped up, and I've sanded that down. You know, I started to throw it away when I got that first big chip, and I thought, crap, hate to do that. So I didn't, and I'm glad I did. I like stuff that's got some character. But anyway, that's it. And I'll be using this here maybe later today, but certainly in the very near future. And I'll get that reel put on there, and I'm excited. It just feels good to fix something instead of throwing it away. We're a throwaway society, and man, when you can fix something, save yourself some money and put something with some character and some history to it back in business, man, that just feels pretty good.